Sorry guys, you know me, always trying to work out, always trying to build up a good sweat. It's tough maintaining this godlike physique, but I try my best through rigorous training. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dan and I am the Budget Gourmet. I try to help you and your family create delicious meals while saving a little bit of cash. This week's recipe is going to be pretty quick. We were in a little bit of a time crunch to make dinner, so we will be using our good friend, the Rotisserie Chicken. It's quick, it's easy, it's already made for you, you don't even have to cook it. So this week's recipe is just going to be quesadillas paired along with a beautiful Pico de Gallo and a fresh guacamole. This is perfect for a weeknight meal and something that you could make pretty easily and pretty quickly if you're in a bit of a bind when it comes to dinner and you still want something fresh and not wanting to just have fast food. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to, please consider subscribing. If you want to keep up with all of the things that I'm doing on this channel and get updates, that would be great and much appreciated. Let's just get right into the video and make some quesadillas. Let's go. Alright, so starting off, we're going to go over our ingredients. The star of the show is our rotisserie chicken. You get it wherever you'd like, Costco, Sam's Club. I got mine from Giant Eagle. I have some tomatoes for our pico, stem tomatoes. Avocados, make sure they're ripe. I have some flour tortillas, these were on sale. 2 red onions. A few limes I had lying around. Tajin. Tajin. Salt. I'm using coarse. I have some cheese, and the ingredients I forgot to mention, I will be also using pepper, butter, and cilantro as well. My apologies. So in this recipe, there's actually very little cooking involved. Most of the time spent is going to be cutting vegetables. Here, I'm going to be making our Pico de Gallo, and I'm just going to start out by dicing our tomato here into small little pieces. If you don't know how to dice a tomato, I typically just follow the same procedure as how I would dice an onion. And if you don't know how to dice an onion, please look up how to dice an onion, because professional chefs and experts that have been doing it for many, many, many years could probably explain it better and quicker than I could. I'm just trying to get my tomatoes into similar sized pieces, or trying to, so there's a consistency of taste in the pico. So there's not like one big chunk of tomato versus a small chunk or too much onion, trying to get everything the same size. Next, we're going to be prepping our onion. For this recipe and the pico, if you're curious, I'm going to put everything down in the description as well. But for my pico, I used 4, I'd probably say medium-sized tomatoes, and I used 2 red onions. The reason I use red onions is because that's what I had around. But also too, I think it just adds that little bit of vibrancy and color. The red and the purple with a little bit of the green of the cilantro, it just makes everything look a little bit better. I also think that this is a good way to practice your knife skills. I used to get really intimidated when it came to using a knife and chopping up vegetables, but I built up getting more comfortable over time, and I found out what's most important. It's not about going fast. It's really about technique, learning the techniques, making sure that all of your cuts are consistent, and just having all of your fingers at the end of the day is important. Here's one of those ingredients I forgot to mention before. We have some cilantro. I'm just going to take a section from our big bunch here. I'm just going to chop that up, just a rough chop. And this is just going to add that last bit of freshness to bring all of the pico together. And this pico was really easy. A lot of people like to add jalapeno, maybe some other ingredients. I like to keep it pretty simple for my family. I just do tomatoes, onions, and cilantro. Alright, so our pico is nearly done. I'm just going to be finishing it off with a little bit of lime juice. I'm going to be rolling my lime on the counter here, sort of breaking up all of those lime fibers, just making it a little bit easier to juice. I added about 3 limes. I did it to taste, so if you want to add more lime or less lime, totally up to you. Then I'm just adding some salt and pepper to taste. And then I'm just going to give everything a mix, and our pico should be done. The next part of our dish that we're going to be working on is our guacamole. I have some beautiful ripe avocados here. I'm just going to be cutting along the top all the way around the avocado and twisting it open. Okay, and I'm just using my fingers to pop out that little seed in there because I don't want to ruin my knife. I know that's like a knife trick that people use, but I heard it sort of dulls the knife or can damage it. So I'm not about all that because I don't want to get new knives. How you doing? If your avocados are ripe, they should come out pretty easily. I used 4 avocados here, I believe. No, I used 3 avocados here. My apologies, please. We're just going to be adding a little bit of lime juice, and I am taking a potato masher and mashing up all of those avocados. I know a lot of people like to, more traditional guacs, or they add tomato or spices or onions or these different things. I keep it pretty simple. I mainly just let the avocado shine through, you could say. I just mash it up until it's nice and soft, add salt, pepper to taste, lime juice. That's pretty much my guacamole. And now for the star of our dish, we're using our rotisserie chicken. You could probably get better taste and a better result by using raw, maybe chicken thighs, and really building up those flavors and getting a nice crust, but we are in a hurry and this is meant to be a quick dinner, so we're using the humble rotisserie chicken. Believe me, I know my way around a rotisserie chicken. I used to eat one of these for lunch every single day, and it was glorious. I'm just going to start out by taking off all of the skin here, and after the skin is removed, I'm just going to do my very best to remove all of the meat off of this chicken. You can use whatever you would like, it doesn't have to be pretty. I just used my hands. So starting off, I'm getting all of the meat off of the breasts, and then I'm going to be working my way into the legs and the thighs. Really not going to get a lot of meat off of the wings, so I'm just going to be using that as a snack for right now. So after you've done your best to try to get all the meat off, do not throw your carcass away. You can use it for a bunch of different things. A lot of people like to make soup stocks and do a bunch of stuff with it. You can do a lot with the carcass. I like to do something a little bit different, which I will show you now. This is just a quick side thing. I like to just get a pan on a medium-high heat, add a little bit of oil. I throw all of my chicken carcass pieces in there. Just add seasonings of my choice and just let that sort of brown and crisp up till it reaches this point here where all that fat renders down, and it's like a little nice little snack, chickeny snack. Okay, back to the show. Now that I have all of my chicken shredded, you saw that I saved the chicken juices. I'm just adding a little bit of seasoning because rotisserie chicken on its own, if you don't have the skin and everything, can sort of not have too much flavor. So I'm just going to be adding a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of Tajin. Whatever seasonings you like, just give it a good mix. Make sure all the chicken is well coated so it can really shine through in your quesadilla. We're going to go with a very low heat for our pan, so our quesadilla does not burn. I'm going to be adding some butter to coat the entire surface of the pan. Just going to add a little bit more flavor to our quesadilla, give you that nice golden brown to the tortilla. Once your pan is covered, I'm going to throw down my tortilla, and this is where all of the cooking happens. We're going to place our chicken down and spread it evenly across the surface here. We're going to be adding our cheese, add as little or as much as you want. Next, I'm going to show you a super secret technique that has been passed down only to me for generations. You're going to take the tortilla and you're going to fold it over on itself. Did you do it? You know how to make a quesadilla now. After a minute or two in the pan, once it starts reaching golden brown status, you're just going to flip it over, like so. Okay, I know mine's a little bit burnt. Relax, Alex. Okay, relax. Not all of us are perfect. I was paying attention to something else, but anyway, just try to reach a golden brown. Okay? Just do your best. It'll still taste good. Don't worry about it. Continuing to show off my imperfections, this is actually a different quesadilla because something happened to the footage of that other one. This is why we need Jesus, ladies and gentlemen. The final part of our recipe is just to cut and to plate. I just cut this quesadilla into quarters. I'm only using half. This is what we're looking at right here. Not bad, if I say so myself. I mean, I ate it. Plating is just very simple. We're going to throw our quesadilla quarters on our plate, making sure they are arranged beautifully. Then we're just going to take a big dollop of guacamole, followed up by a big dollop of Pico de Gallo. I use the same spoon. What are you going to do about it? Finishing it off with our chips here. And there you have it. There is your quick, easy quesadilla weeknight dinner. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about this recipe down in the comments below, and I will see you next week with a brand new video. Goodbye.